Probably should have had that done before we had got anything else done. Anyway, how's everybody today? We're gonna see how we sound here. Man, it's been a really busy day, man. Yeah. So, uh, it's been a really long day, man. We done had mice. I had to go outside in the cold because I didn't have my coffee creamer this morning. Um, Made a stop by my homeboy house. Just kind of a busy morning. While trying to get this done, and I got a release that I'm doing, so I'm over here um, taking care of some covers and everything too. Not now. So what we are doing is trying to see how we sound right now, so we can go ahead and move forward. All right, we sound good here. Okay, so let me go over here to this other site. Over here to this other site right quick. And I need to set this up too because for some reason, I'm paying for this, like I said the other day, and they are not letting me see any of my comments, even though after my live streams are going off, I am indeed seeing comments. So, um, let's see here. Let us see here. What happened to a brother's tripod? Yeah, here you go, right here. How y'all doing today, man? I don't care how early I start this stuff, man. Uh, I don't care how early I start this stuff, man. I never ever, never ever get going right. Yeah, now I be seeing why people be having an extra person in the room with them doing this stuff because, geez, oh, peace. And then, like, I be having, like I said, I got so much other stuff going on. So my workspace right now is wild as hell and untamed. I can unplug that now. I can. Okay. Anyway, okay, let's see. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. All right. I can see if somebody is commenting right now. I look about as good as a funny looking brother can look on camera. So let's get our day started then, right? So there's been a lot of talk right now about the DEI. Me personally, I feel like it's one of those. I hate using that distraction thing that people like to use so much, but it really is. Especially for you if you are male, one, or you a black male, or you a white male in particular. Um, the thing I'll say about white males is they already make up a grand majority of most workplaces. Even though there are quite a few of them who are suffering from unemployment, but I do think if you start to look at the numbers overall, they are fairly represented. If we all gonna be truthful about this, if we're gonna be truthful about it. Um, Now what I will say though is, uh, I don't think it should have been presented in a way that makes them feel like they're having their needs ignored purposely. Um, and we also gonna talk about who benefits greatly, who benefited the most from it, and to be surprisingly, it's not black people. Um, I was saying on my last show that uh, while while at the same time saying that uh, black people's unique situation isn't worth addressing or it's past its due point, these people will turn around and then use that same unique situation to get things passed for certain people. Um, like you'll hear things about if you say something that's just strictly dedicated for black people, you'll get all this pushback and all these arguments about it being unconstitutional or it being like something like that. But we have programs in place that take care of specific groups of people in place that happen yearly. It's like how you put it, when you get when you put your auto pay on your car, we got auto pay for people too, but we don't get a lot of people who bring those up in conversation. So the double edged sword here is, wow, they are able to use black people's unique situation in order to pass legislation or things of that nature. At the same time, they also able to use black people's situation to be able to stall things from happening too, which is also done too. As far as the whole DEI thing, I think the person or the people who will end up being most affected by it will probably be white women, because like they got like 80 something percent of the positions. If you start talking about C suites, and I'm really not sure about the whole C suite thing, but I was looking at the numbers. Um, the way that they chopped it up, they got 19%. And like the other people that is supposed to cover got around 4 to 5%, which means probably between black men, black women, Hispanics, Asians, all got about um got about that. And it's probably chopped up a little differently until it comes up to 100%. But the way that it's chopped up is that uh, white women came out on top in those positions with 19% being filled. So um, just like we found out with that thing always slips my mind. Just like we found out with affirmative action, yeah. Um, white women are benefiting from that um, probably more than anybody else. To me, it's funny just the fact that to hear that they are looked at as a minority group that's in that's in need of that. Um, they got it pretty good because they benefit from this stuff while at the same time still being able to stick close to their men and benefit from the thing that their men are getting. So they kind of getting blessed on both sides. But I don't really think anybody's talking about how bad they might suffer if these things begin if these policies begin to come down the line that kind of start to put an end to these things, because you already seen them. They went and took care of school, college already, and you already see how that turned out. The people who brought the argument, the people who had the problem, now they are themselves having to sue the people that they work with because, well, like they were told before they went through with it, they just gonna turn around and ignore you too. So we saw that happen. Yeah, I gotta excuse me, man. The brother's a little dry today. But the biggest, like, we don't have a lot of stories on it right now beside what we already heard about DEI and how people don't like it. We could get into what I believe um is going on here, but I don't really feel like having that talking, getting into that argument with people because it just doesn't make any sense to. But right now you starting to see companies try to get out ahead of whatever's coming down the pipeline. If there's anything coming down the pipeline at all, I feel like a lot of this is going to be a bluff job. I feel like a lot of it's going to be some overstepping of boundaries. But you starting to see companies get out ahead of this. Also, you have to understand that a lot of these businesses that they don't really care about that. The bottom line is what they care about. So if they thought that DEI was or the lack of having that implemented was going to affect their bottom line, that was kind of they were going to go ahead and capitulate to that. So um, if their bottom line is being affected, of course they're going to change their mind. What do I got over here as far as my videos go? Because I just got a little, because I didn't get a lot of, I don't have a lot of videos and stuff on there because I don't know, man. They always those videos be touchy. The stuff people be saying in those videos be touchy. But I do want to get into how Walmart has decided to start making moves before somebody comes to them and tells them that they need to do something. Um, do I think that them messing with DEI is going to affect people in particular? You know what, we have to see because okay, we're gonna give the people, we're gonna give them the benefit of the doubt that they're gonna say everything is merit based. Okay, and when I'm gonna tell you right now, if you want to be a winner in merit based, there's no better time right now because a lot of people don't have any. They're not really bright. I don't like saying that, but you're not up against a ton of competition right now. If you're gonna go based on merits, because for so long people been able to survive on other than merit. Like so, you're not really up against you're not gonna get a lot of pushback if you're somebody who have during this time been progressing yourself and learning new things and getting and getting yourself together in a way that you were able to be able to move forward despite having helping out. Because to be truthful, you not really. I'm talking to my people as black. I'm talking to black people. You're not really even getting the push forward with that you would think you are. Um, so either gaining or losing it, I don't really think is going to be a problem. So let me see here. Now, if you've been watching me, you know how I struggle mightily with this screen changing thing. I got some stuff to get off here. Let me get this off of here. Let's get this off of here. Yeah, we don't want that on here. Need this as clear as possible so we can see what we're doing. I finally took care of my microphone problem because it sounded like I had a really, really bad echo for the first few episodes. So I'm trying to figure that out. So this is what we're going to do. We are going to unlock this display here. We're going to do this here, up here. And what we're going to do with the large cam is we're going to take that off. So up here, I'm trying to figure out what's going on with this extra stuff on the side over here. So let's take this off of here as well. Cause I said like every day, man, it'll be something new um, with this damn thing, man. But we'll figure it out. But right now, we're just gonna look at this. We're just gonna look at this. Yeah, come on, man. Oh my God, I need a new boom arm too. Um, all right. So it said Walmart, once eager to promote diversity, pulls back amid conservative pressure. So we already like we already talking about just simple pressure, um, not even where is this at? We're not looking at that. Where is this at? We're not even talking about where they've done anything yet. You know what I'm saying? They haven't even done anything yet. And we already have companies who are scared. Ooh, disappeared. Didn't want to do that. Okay, there we go. Ooh, gotta be fixing on the fly. Um, but yeah, we're gonna get into this because it's just like they said, it's just conservative pressure, and they have the idea that Trump is already in charge. You also have to think about some of these people who in charge of this stuff. They already were looking for a way to get out of this. Um, do I think this is going to lead to any more equity or equality or whatever the hell it is that they be asking about? Do I think it's going to lead to any more than it was already there? No. Do I think that this is some kind of a stunt? Yeah, I do. But anyway, let's get into this right now. Okay. So it says in June of 2020, as protesters spilled into the streets after the murder of George Floyd, Walmart's chief executive Doug McMillon promised action. In a blog post, he said that slavery, lynching, and the concept of separate but equal have morphed into a set of systems today that are all too often unjust, and promised to address academic systemic racism by establishing a center for racial equality that would give out 100 million in grants over 5 years. Hmm, mighty funny how we running right into that 5 year mark, and they all talking about it's time to find something else to do. So that's pretty coincidental if you ask me. You can't tell me that these people don't already get with these politicians and already know that this stuff is coming down the pipeline. This is why they are already making moves because they already know nobody's going to do anything, or and people still going to go to Walmart. But anyway, 4.5 years later, Walmart is sending a different message, pulling back some of those initiatives for diversity, equity, and inclusion, known as DEI. So here they say they only pulling back some of them. So we wonder what some of them mean. You have to remember and have to pay attention to their wording because these people are pretty freaking slick. They slick, man. As a result of changes, the company will stop sharing data with the Human Rights Campaign, a nonprofit that tracks corporate LGBTQ policies. Third-party merchants will no longer be able to sell some LGBTQ themed items, such as chest binders, on Walmart.com that could be marketed to children. It will no longer use terms DEI and Latinx in official communications. Walmart will not renew the Center for Racial Equity, the philanthropic initiative that Mr. McMillan announced in 2020 when that agreement expires next year. Robbie Starbuck, an anti DEI activist and social media influencer, declared the changes a victory on Monday. In a post on social media, Mr. Starbucks said that he had told executives at the company that he was working on a story about wokeness at Walmart, but that instead the two sides had a productive conversations to make changes before Christmas when shoppers have very few large retail brands that they can spend money with who aren't pushing woke policies. We'll talk about what they mean by woke in a minute and who these guys who are making all these fuss are for real. I had a whole episode on dorks, and of course, like I told you, we hadn't seen the last of the dork. Uh, we've been on a journey, and we know we aren't perfect, but every decision comes from a place of wanting to foster a sense of belonging, to open doors to opportunity for all of our associates, customers, suppliers, and to be Walmart for everyone, the company said in a statement. As if DEI had cut off anybody. This is the funny part to me. So when you're looking at this DEI stuff, it probably really only affects maybe 5 to 10% of the workforce. The rest of the workforce is really who the people who are fighting against it are. To be honest, to be truthful. Um, so to hear them even have this kind of stuff up here is really funny because I don't really feel like Walmart was leaving anybody out. What will probably happen will lead to them leaving people out now. And I don't even agree with DEI and all of this stuff. Because I don't really feel like it helps or hinders me any because it's not. I don't ever find myself in positions where I feel like I need that. I don't really think people really take the time to use it properly. I think it's only used when somebody feels like using it is something that can be weaponized by the wrong people, something that was weaponized by the wrong people. So, but at the same time, I have to understand what type of person it takes to go do this. This isn't somebody who has this caring for everybody involved. This is somebody who feels like the focus isn't on me and my people. Uh, this is keeping some of the guys that I feel like deserve it more than somebody, whether they qualify or not. You know, um, we wanted to go back to the time where we were in charge and we were the ones who decided who was important enough to be able to do this. We don't want anybody else telling us who's important enough. We gave you guys enough chances and all of this stuff to be in charge, even though a lot of the times when you guys were in charge, we did things to sabotage that. Okay. um Now we can make this. Now we have done enough, because this is what happened, right? The same people who was behind introducing this stuff, like you see this man was ready to quit doing this right now. The same people who were putting these things into action were also having people fight them behind the scenes, because it's only so this stuff wasn't supposed to be a fix. It was a band-aid. Okay. um they also already know that there isn't really much competition for Walmart, so they can pretty much do this and not suffer a backlash, because where are people going? See, it's because, like I said in my last show, what we get ready to go through for the next 4 years is a reemergence of white males being in charge. Okay, that's all we get ready to see. That's all I've been hearing them cry about for the last 7 to 8 years is how they not in charge and wokeness, which really to me that is a phrase that they took and they perverted a phrase that really meant to be able to tell you to pay attention to exactly the type of thing that's going on now. So of course these people would take it and pervert it in a way that sells. Again, you have all of these poor, downtrodden people who don't have nothing, who looking for a message. So now you have these people with these really insane messages that come along, because uh, we don't get answers from our government about what's going on. We don't get answers from our news, from our media. So these type of people can come along with their harebrained ass ideas, okay, and tell you this is what's wrong. And because the people here are so used to having somebody lead them in one direction or another, they have a hard time thinking for themselves. They have a hard time forming their own thoughts and opinions. These type of people can show up, and this kind of thing can happen. Now, if you think this is something that has to do with fairness, man, you are really gullible. If you think this Mr. Starbuck is somebody who is really promoting fairness, you gotta be kidding yourself. I can almost guarantee that if you go look on this man's Twitter or something, he has some kind of anti-black, anti-Hispanic, somebody beside white, he's gonna have a problem with. Okay, so all of this is like they feel like the only reason why the country is falling apart to them is because they're not in charge. They're not making decisions. You got people letting too many people who don't look like them in. Nobody is really in awe of them like they used to be anymore. The respect level that white men used to have at one time is not the same anymore, and that's just the realness of it. So what you get ready to see is them try to take some power back. On top of that, you got the whole dork class of men who've been thoroughly rejected, who've always been rejected. They've already this and what we've seen over a number of years are more and more dorkish personalities getting power. So and this is why things are silly. This is why things are silly as they are, because we have a set of people who got in charge who ain't never been taken seriously. You know what I'm saying? They probably shouldn't even be in charge of anything because of the people they are. You know what I'm saying? They're continually rejected by the broader public, or they're unliked, but they have a product that everybody need because they've created a severe need for the product because they're not good people. They don't know. They only know how to do conniving shit. Okay, so we are in that. we are in the era of the dork. I don't give a damn what nobody say. The dorks are ruling the damn day right now, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where we falling on that. So this is another area where you got dorkish men who need attention, who can't, who couldn't be good enough to overcome 5% more people getting a break. They need it all to be gone so they can get their mediocrity to the front of the line, because that's all this is mediocrity, um, having a fit. Okay, because you can't, if you really think about it, there's a lot of shit going on, and that's a lot more important than that. And if you really think about it, that isn't really stopping a lot of people from getting a job. What's stopping people from getting jobs? They don't have them, or if they do have them, they're underpaying jobs. Okay, so they jobs that you can't take serious. But like I said, when you don't have proper messaging, you don't have the proper people carrying the message, you get a fucking dork like this guy. Okay, he can bring his dorkish, slimy ass on to the scene, and he can shake something. This man don't got no credentials. He a DEI activist, and they said he was something else that didn't make any sense. He don't even have any credentials, but he is somewhere pushing policy. Why? The other thing, we got all these prominent black lawyers. Okay, do you see them making the same type of noise these other guys are, going up to the Supreme Court, challenging shit that's going on? No, they don't. But you know what they will do? They'll show up when somebody's son gets shot by the police. So it's just because it's not like there aren't people in existence who can combat this stuff. They exist. They're there. They are. They just would rather do other things. And I don't really. Sometimes I don't really believe it's all them. I do believe there's a certain wall that they run into, and a lot of them don't have the courage that it takes to run through that wall. Those men that had that kind of courage, they took those guys out really early, so they couldn't even train anybody else to carry on that type of fierceness. That's why we don't have it. If it is, it, it gets extinguished really fast by the people around. Because even um, because something like this, if they were doing this at a certain time in our history, they would have a bunch of men here to combat something like this. But we don't. Matter of fact, we got more dudes that look like us that get up and say, "Hey, man, yeah, let's go do this because A, B, and C." So like I said, this is another area where the dorks, what I'm saying, the dorks, they got their hands on it, and now they ruling the day. Because there is no way that you can't tell me that there aren't competent lawyers in place that can't put up a fight for every or come out and do the exact same thing as you see these DEI activists doing. That's the dumbest damn title. How the hell do you become I don't see, and they just be making up positions for themselves. So this is why we can have these. They don't have proper messaging. They don't have anybody with a strong will. The things that they decided they wanted to focus on opened up the door for this shit. See, when you don't allow for the type of men that stand up to certain shit, you don't allow them to be around. You don't allow them to have a say. You start losing your stuff, because who there to fight for you? All those men capable of fighting or standing in the gap, them dudes ain't around. Them dudes is going to do something else, or they don't went to the other side. So anyway, them dudes is not around, man. They don't really want to be bothered no more, yo. You know what I'm saying? It's Get back here. Yeah, of course, man. You know, it's that thing right there. We gonna have to monitor that to see where that goes. We gonna have to monitor that to see where that goes because I feel like at some point it's gonna get wild. It is. Let me see what's this right here. I am looking for. All right, now let's get back into this this Hunter Biden uh stuff right quick.
I think that the hypocrisy.
All right, let's get here. You know what, man? I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. I don't watch CNN a lot, okay, because I just really feel like they do a lot of BSing and they do a lot of lying. Um, but I do have one guy on there that when I see him, I stop and I watch it because he always keep it real and it be funny as hell the way that he really be chopping. He chops the left half of the folks down real quick. And he don't be telling a lie. He be keeping it as real as you can on CNN. You know, you only can keep it so real on there. You can't be too real on there, or they won't have you back. But the dude name is Scott Jennings. Some of y'all probably kind of familiar with him if you do keep up with this stuff, and you have seen him um, come on and obliterate him right quick. Uh, but but we do have a video of him, and I done seen this make the rounds a couple of times. So I'm gonna go ahead and play it for you. So I got I'm on my struggle stream shit. So y'all gotta work with me, man. But let's get this up here. Let's do this. All right, all right, y'all ready? All right, here we go.
Hypocrisy here, it is astounding. I mean, Donald Trump has said and done things, said things that he and done other things. And again, he's a convicted felon himself. He has used
This
his
lady is so
power
full of
to
it.
benefit his friends, his wealthy allies. In this instance, we're talking about a man who decided to take care of his son after.
The funny thing about listening to these people talk is they don't never ever have anything to say beside Trump is bad. That's about all they got for you. Trump is bad. So she just said a bunch of nothing so far. So we just gonna keep on listening to her. Let me get my headset on so I can pay closer attention here. Oh, let's see. Let's see here, cause she getting on my nerves already.
Years of unrelenting attacks. I don't blame him.
Scott, did you have the same concerns over hang on, a justice system for the elite, as you put it before, when it was Donald Trump pardoning Steve Bannon, Paul Manafort, Roger Stone, Michael Finn, Charlie Kushner? Same concern then?
Listen, you guys can spend all day long trying to spin this that this is Donald Trump.
Hold on. I just before I let him go again, I just want to let y'all know that he finna chop him up right quick. He is finna, hey, car, all upside their head. Watch this.
Fault that this is somehow caused by Donald Trump. Oh, he's appointing the wrong people. Oh, he did it. Oh, this is the worst possible thing a president could possibly do to his party and to the country, to sit for a year and say, I will not do this. I will not do this. The rule of law is sacred. We have to respect the justice system. Juries, we have to respect juries. We have to respect the guardrails and the norms of our democracy. These people are liars. Inflation is transitory. Afghanistan, it's a success. The border is secure. Robert Hur is a liar. The videos are cheap fakes. Biden has a cold. He'll never drop out. Oh, I'll never pardon Hunter. It's all a lie. It is all a grift. Every American except the.
And see, this is something that I have been saying. I've been saying this way before this because this isn't the first time that they have. And close. This is distracting. This isn't the first time that I felt like that. That they have lost their moral high ground. They have lost their. They've been lost their moral high ground, man. Like I said, when they got into office in 2020 and they started off with a lie, their moral high ground was gone at that point. They didn't have any, and then they kept lying. You know what I'm saying? And everything just kept falling apart because they would not be truthful. And this is the culmination, man. This is the culmination.
The most partisan, brain rotted people are going to be outraged by this today. He is going to leave off. You think 38, 39% job approval is bad? Just you wait. Just you wait. He's disgraced. Disgraced today. Outrageous.
You don't need to.
Watch her. Watch her. She mad. Look at her face. Look at her face. She finna start. She finna trip out. Ah! Watch. She finna just lose her mind. She wanna pull her hair out. Look at my man right there. He said, "Did you just say that?" He's like, "Ooh, ooh." And look, he said, "Matter." That's that matter of fact. Look, that's that face you make when you know you cooking and what you cooking tastes good. When you watching them eat it and they can't do nothing but smack they licking fingers. When you cooking. That's that face you make when you know you cooking and you know what you cooking is good and they need to eat it because it's good for them.
But Scott, you don't need to hurl names and say people like me are brain rotted. Come on, that's a little beyond the pale, even for you, Scott.
Listen,
I
disagree. We can disagree. You don't have to defend this. He's leaving office. You don't have to defend it. You don't have to die on this hill. You can say this is wrong because everybody knows that it is. It's wrong. Are you fine with the lying? Are you fine with him sitting before the election all year and lying?
Hey, my man in the middle, like, say word. He said, "Lady, you gonna pinch him or something?" Look at his face. He said, "You gonna pinch him? You gonna do something? You gonna do something?"
Lying to the American people? Are you fine with the lying about it?
I don't think that he was lying. I think he made a decision after the fact and decided this was the right thing for him and for his family. Period. Full stop. Donald Trump decided that it was okay to pardon
Joe Biden, Karine Jean-Pierre. How many minutes of tape do we have of both of these people telling the American people this will not happen?
A lot.
It's I mean, we could play it all morning. It's a lie, and it's a lie to benefit his own family, and that's all that it is. And everybody who went on TV and said, "Oh, look how he's the modern George Washington," he's drained every ounce of credibility from every surrogate. If Karine Jean-Pierre had an ounce of self-respect, she'd get off the plane in Africa today, where they're going, so he can avoid the press and resign.
Man, she ain't finna quit. That's her job, man. She been doing that, man. She been lying and running interference and all that, man. So she definitely, the last thing she finna do is quit. So they get ready to go. They get ready to go do some cooking of their own. They get ready to cook. They get ready to cook themselves. So, they're gonna come out and serve us something. You know what I'm saying? They chefs too. They gonna go cook up something.
He's drained all of her credibility, and everybody else who's defended this, it's draining for them forever.
Well, and Karen, to be fair, Joe Biden, we did play that sound earlier, did flat out say on multiple occasions, and the press secretary did, that he would not pardon Hunter Biden.
He sure did. And I will tell you that he probably heard from a lot of people who said, "You know what, sir, go ahead and do it. You should go ahead and protect your son, because who knows what Trump and Trump's Department of Justice will do when they say that their number one goal is retribution."
Well, I'm sorry to keep stopping it, but if we're gonna be honest, right? Let's be honest with each other, okay? Let's be honest with each other. Joe Biden is not coming back. He's not coming back. He's not coming back. So for them to even try to use this excuse, he just did that because he could. He know he's not going to have to answer for it. Um, by the time um, anybody figure out a way to get his son, he gonna be long gone, so he not gonna have to experience it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like what's gonna happen? Like, and you really can't tie it to the party because the party didn't make the decision for him. They may have had an influence on him making the decision, but they didn't make the decision for him. So it's really like it's a win for him, and it's really like just something for everybody else to be here and talk about. That's it. That's it. That's all it is, man. It's just something for to be a distraction, probably to get us from like I said, I hate it. I said that in the beginning. I hate using that, but it probably is some type of distraction to keep us from um keep questioning all this money missing, and it's a lot of stuff going on, man. It is.
How could you not take the opportunity to say, you know what? This is one thing that I can do for my child. This is one thing I can do to help get the target off of his back. I also, by the way, this is politics. And again, if we're going to, go down and compare list to list, it's not going to look very good for Donald Trump either. And I just don't have a problem with Joe Biden doing this at all.
All right.
Good for
Karen
him.
Finney.
Of course, you
Karen
don't
Finney.
have a problem with him doing it.
Agree with me.
Of course, you
Karen
don't.
Finney. Scott Jennings.
All right. So we hear it, and do you know what you know what's crazy to me is how they are so quick to excuse bullshit when it's they people. Now, had anybody else um gotten into this kind of shit, if Trump had done this, if Barron was wilding out like that, out in the streets, banging, slanging, smoking cocaine, slanging crack, whatever, he get locked up for it, and Trump say, "Hey man, I'm about to pardon you. I'm gonna go back 10, 12 years for when you get your first charge, and I'm gonna pardon you from that point." So anything before that would probably be you wouldn't be able to be charged for it because the statute of limitations on it is gone. Don't get any more trouble from this point on. You can't go do any more deals. You can't do any of that stuff. So he saved him from going to jail. And then it was kind of a cover up too because maybe some things would have been came out that implicated Joe in some things. You know what I'm saying? So it is while they're trying to turn this into a feel good story of a father feeling a certain way about his son and getting his son out of trouble, when you start to think about everything that these two are involved in and that everything that were being talked about in regards to them, you had to start thinking how strategic this was. Then you have to start to ask the question of about who else has been pardoned. Sometimes these things happen and other people don't get mentioned. They kind of get away too. So it's just something funny, man. It's just something funny. Just something funny. Something smells, man. Something smells. All right. Sorry for that moment of silence. Let's see what else I got up here. We going right on down the line. We already talked about that. What else I got up here? Do we want to talk about Nancy Pelosi still being sneaky? What this say? Yeah, we're gonna get into that too. I'm trying to find my little Tom Holdman stuff. Oh yeah, you know what? I ran into a article before I move on. I want to retouch on this. Just touch on it again about the DEI thing again because I forgot about this article. But I'm not even gonna read it. But I am gonna put it out there. So if you want to go and read it, I'm just gonna give you a general gist of it. It's about how it says it's a LinkedIn, which is a blog, but it was pretty interesting. Uh, it says why white women won DEI. Uh, and when you when you go on this blog and you start to look at numbers, you'll start to see what I said about there is this small group of little dorky guys who got who got their own agenda. This isn't even what the majority of people are asking for. So this is why you see people having the conversation, but you don't see everybody having a conversation because this is something that a lot of people aren't even privy to. But let's see if we can touch on some important parts of this. Um, so this is one part of it. It says the data is clear. Over the past 10 years, white women not only hold the majority of executive roles from DEI, 75 to 80%, are also the best compensated for this work with the longest tenures. So here in the beginning, um, they were already saying something to the fact that I had alluded to before, that you talking about the people who going to be affected the most. It won't be the people that they're using as the face of what's going on. So as usual, somebody gonna suffer silently. You know what I'm saying? And they not gonna be able to do anything about it because people want to play political games with people's lives. Cause that's all this is. It's just a big political game because it doesn't affect anybody for real on a large scale. It doesn't, in general, it not giving anybody any advantage who didn't already have one overall. You know what I'm saying? And it's people who was already disadvantaged are staying disadvantaged because the spots are being taken by probably an undeserving set of people. To be honest, that's how these type of things end up hurting everybody. But you don't get that discussion that um you don't get that as a discussion though. You get it framed in a different way because if they framed it in that way, then it'll be hell to pay. Then you gotta start asking. Then you gotta start answering other uncomfortable questions in regards to to those women. You know what I'm saying, and why it is that it's like that, and your men are in the position that they are. Which, when we say that, it doesn't mean that they're all in that position, but in terms of percentages, which is kind of funny when you talk about that in percentage, they don't want to hear about that. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna get into that though. Um. So here is, let's see here. Let's see if we can get this up here. Let's see if we can get this up here. Let's see if we can get this up here. Okay. This is what we're looking at. Where's my small camera? Let me see if I can get myself up here in the corner. Okay. So this is where we are right now. It says, even as budgets have been slashed in women of color, in particular, black women have left organizations. There have been few high-profile exits of white DEI leaders over the past year. And if you haven't noticed that, when you start seeing these women getting fired, you were seeing black women being fired. That's who you were seeing being fired because, like I said, they aren't the people who benefited the most from DEI. They are simply the face of DEI. Okay, they're simply the face of DEI, so they don't stand to gain anything else from that other than being the face of it, which at this point turned them into villains. Which means that may affect their career going forward because of what's attached to them now and them being the face of it. So you could see the line is green. We're gonna look at this. See, 80%. Boom. That is their line. This is Asians. Boom. 10%. Where are black or African women? They are 5%. So you are seeing more propaganda. just by that right there. So it was something else I wanted on here. I wanted to look at on here, right? So they were saying here that white women's proximity to power is real, which is it's absolutely true because regardless of how things are being painted, white men are powerful. Okay, they represent power still, even though they done had to share some of that. You know what I'm saying? They've had to let other people in the picture. They're still in the front of the picture. Everybody's they're still the leader. They're still seen as the leader. You know what I'm saying? They're still seen as the top of the top or whatever. You know what I mean? So of course, their women are going to, just from being within proximity of that, they're going to be able to share some of that power. They're going to be offered some of that power when someone tells them that they have to find someone to offer that power to. So who else would I offer it to the most? Is to the person in proximity of me as a man would be my woman. That's how it's supposed to be. As a black man in our community, I can fully admit that with us, it doesn't really work like that. You know, we have the desire to want to change and fix that, but it doesn't work like that. So, so let's read some of these points. Uh, this is the kind of stuff right here that helps them move their case along for us not deserving that kind of equity or these programs not being viable. Because when you start to do things like number one, and it says leverage privilege, it said they need to use their societal privilege to break down barriers and create opportunities for marginalized groups. I don't really feel like that should be their responsibility, okay, as a whole. Um, the only now in in thought, this to me this makes sense in thought, is that if you wanted to make this stuff laws, then you would need to have a federal set of hiring credentials that you have to go by. You cannot sway from this federal set of hiring credentials. And if you get found in violation of this, then you get a large fine. Um, but it's that's the only way you're going to get anything to be fair. And then um, you're going to have to make sure that you follow through on fines and whatever else it is that you promised when you find one of these companies to be in violation of whatever this federal hiring guideline laws is. If it isn't a set of them out there already that's supposed to be being followed that they feel like they have to add these amendments to. But telling white people that they need to give up whatever some perceived privilege is that they don't even perceive that they have themselves, and telling them to use that to create opportunities for people when they don't feel like they have an opportunity for themselves, it's going to create resentment. That's not how you get people. I don't really understand where all of these weird ways of getting people to help you come from as far as shaming and trying to force somebody into something. Okay. Um, So you simply trying to force these people into using some privilege, like I said, that if you ask them, do they have, they'll tell you they don't. Okay. So that's your first mistake right there. Mentor and sponsor. Take an active role in mentoring and sponsoring underrepresented individuals in your organization or community. Sponsorship can be a powerful tool for advancement and an opportunity for creation, especially for marginalized demographics. So, the savior complex thing. I gotta go find an underdeserving person and be their sponsor and be over them and show them this and make sure they turn out to be a good person. See, because that's what I said, man. This the way that they put this stuff together, man. They put it together for it not to fucking work long. Okay, because you have to understand that at the end of the day, a lot of the people who make this, they really don't want to have anybody leapfrog them either. So the way that they think about it is, we can give you some release. Some of you all may be able to get out of whatever bind you in, but there is no way that we are going to allow you as a group to leapfrog us. So we'll put these things in, and we'll put them in, and then we'll put we won't put a fail safe in. We'll leave a fail safe out so that if somebody comes through with a strong enough argument, they'll be able to halt this, and then we'll be able to go back to the drawing board again and draw up something new, because that's all that's gonna come out of this. They're gonna knock this down, then somebody's gonna come along and they're gonna knock that down too. Um, Really having a fight about equality and all that shit is just really a pointless thing. You know what I'm saying? So, whatever. Advocate for structural changes. It says push for policies and processes that eliminate barriers and promote diversity on all levels, not just in DEI roles. So it says over time, this might mean that you no longer have a seat at the table as that table becomes more representative. Like I said, you are hilarious for even asking someone to give up their power for someone else who's capable of doing the things needed to gain power themselves. As a black person, I don't really want all that. I don't want you feeling sorry for me. I don't need you mentoring me, man. I don't need none of that from you. I don't need none of that from you. Okay? Now I gotta reset my stuff, man. That almost made me mad. I almost went off on a tangent. Shit. But I don't need you mentoring me. Okay? I don't really need you speaking up and doing all this weird shit. I don't really need it. Everything is good. Where's this other story at, man? At I don't want that one yet. We don't want that one yet. Why did this shit? Yeah. But yeah, that when I start hearing that kind of stuff, man, it be making me mad because I'm like, you know, who I know I haven't asked for that. I haven't heard anybody else around me ask for nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? All we was saying is if I bring my application to you and you look at my application and you can see that I'm qualified to be here, like put me on, bro. If I'm better than everybody here, put me on. Don't look at my name or I come into an interview and you see that I'm not who you think I am, but I got all the skills that you need. Like that's all we asking. It's like, yo, don't do that, bro. I'm not even asking you I'm not even asking you to make me your favorite employee. I'm not asking you to make nothing special for me, bro. Just when you look at my stuff and you see I could do it and you want to hire me, give me the chance to go ahead and improve myself. You know what I'm saying? Um, the reason why we here though is because they wasn't doing that. So anybody who think they gonna all of a sudden just start doing it without the guardrails now, it's crazy. So what I suggest to people is you figure out how to do the stuff on your own. You figure out how to become a competitor if you can, and that's an easy thing to say. It's not easy to do because then again, you have to go to the same people who support this stuff in order to get what you need to become a competitor. So it's a dirty game and it's rigged, and we just have to find a way to play it. You know what I'm saying? Until it plays itself out, everything plays itself out. It's really in the beginning stages, maybe somewhere near close to the middle of playing itself out. Because the longer that we go on with this capitalism stuff, the worse we find out it is. Okay, the more tragedies that we run into, the more crazy stuff that we see, the more crazy stuff happen, the more people lose stuff. You know what I'm saying? So you just have to at some point have to understand that if we can play the game in a way that helps us to like kind of stay in there, survive a little bit, you might make it to see the end. You might not. But we gonna be in that part. We gonna be in a part of history now where you really gonna have to figure out self sufficiency, because it just really sounds like these guys gonna come in and just try to punish everybody and put it under, and they only gonna punish it, and really what's happening is they really trying to make you seem like a lot of people want this stuff, and when you look at it, the percentages aren't saying that. Over 50% of the workplace feel like it's needed. About 50% of the workplace say they feel like it works. You know what I'm saying? So you have a small set of people who feel like, this small set of people who feel like they left out, the mediocres who wasn't good enough. Because how you not good enough when you 90% of it? You 90% of the workforce, 90, almost 95% of the workforce, and you had to share 5 to 8% of it, and you have a problem with that. You can't beat the other 90% of you. So you want to try to take the 5 to 8% space. That don't make any sense to me. But like I said, you gonna have to let these dudes fuck up, because that's all they gonna do, because they can't do anything else. They not here to do anything for everybody. They're not here to do anything for anybody. All they hear, see, the what they killed me with is they always talking about somebody is being divisive and all of this stuff, but then they come in and they do all the kind of things that show divisiveness. You hear that dude Vivek Ramaswamy come in talking about get back to work. He wasn't gonna win that because they had already been in litigation about that. So why would he even come in and think he gonna change anything? Because he's a dork and he doesn't think ahead. That's why he couldn't be. That's why he couldn't be the president, because he can't run anything. He might be able to run his small business and whatever it is that he has that small bit of knowledge in, but when it starts to come in with dealing with people and being compassionate and being a human and not a fucking alien or a dork, he can't defeat that part of his soul. He can't defeat that part of his person to be able to be a leader. There's a part of these dudes that they can't beat, that allow them to be a real leader. Because it's one thing to front, and it's one thing to front in moments. It's one thing to get on the internet and be able to have something thought out, or you got some kind of rally or something that you can think ahead. But when it comes to being genuine, these people fail every time. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I said, they mad. You got a bunch of dudes who mad because people don't take them seriously. I done went and got all this success. I'm this, I'm that, and the other. And it's still people out here that laugh at me. It's still people out here that don't take me seriously. They still sharing pictures of me in my youth when I didn't have hair. I got hair now. They making fun of my voice. Whatever. They questioning my, whatever. All the stuff that these little dorky dudes go through. They gonna try to take it out on everybody, bro. They're gonna take it out on everybody, and because that's what people scared of, because they see the score, they see the play, they know what's finna, they know they getting ready to try to do. You know what I'm saying? But when I was watching people have all them breakdowns, and they was on the camera screaming and stuff, and I was just like, if you know, like I know, just chill, bro. It's not gonna take them long to wear their welcome out. It's fresh and new. They done told they lie to everybody. That folks done beat it. So just, since when have you known these people to do anything that they come in and say that they gonna do? They might do some of the stuff. I'll give it to Trump. He's done more of the things than a lot of people. But he still don't do half of the shit that he said he gonna do. Some of the stuff that they talking about, they say they gonna do, they can't just come in and do it. It's still gonna always be an opposition. Y'all have to understand, things are set up in a way that you can run wild, but you only can run so wild. And then you can't, I'll be telling people too, you cannot underestimate the people. The last thing you want to do is underestimate the people. These people will act a damn fool. Trust me. If worse come to worse, you might as well get ready for it. Okay, so, man, I done got off on this damn tangent. We going into an hour. I wanna get into I want to get into this Fox News video and maybe some of this article. I'm gonna talk a little bit about Tom Homan first. Why does this man never have a smile on his face? This dude don't smile for shit. Every time you see a picture of him, he frowned up. Every time I see him in an interview, he got like an attitude. Um, this is a dude is like, yeah, he ain't no joke. He ain't no joke. This is what I call overcorrection. This is what we do here in America. We let a problem fester and fester and fester. We put all these weak, incompetent people in charge, and we let it fester and fester, and stuff get out of control. And then somebody would will come along with an overcorrective hand. We do it every time. That's what the DEI stuff is. It's overcorrection because we're not competent enough to have a system where it's really merit based. You know why? Because we have people within the system who can't stand to lose. So you that's not gonna this that kind of shit. You never gonna get a win from that kind of thing anyway. Until you get people who can be gracious in their losses. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. The day that happened is the day Jesus gonna come back. He probably come back before that happened. So it's a lot of stuff that won't get fixed because the way that the country is constructed isn't that's not something that's gonna be fixed. It's part of the foundation, man. So some of this stuff, if you trying to fix it for real, you really gonna have to tear everything down at this point in the game. No, nobody has an idea of what we would build it back to. It'll just end up being the same damn thing. So leave it alone. But like I was saying about my man Tom Homan, he mad. He mad because the last time he was here, they gave him problems. He lost his job. They terminated ICE. They killed the whole. He was over something. They terminated it. He ain't like that. So now he got a chip on his shoulder too. I'm telling y'all, when I say we finna go back to where they get ready to put to where the older white man is in charge again, bro, yeah, we get ready to try to see them have a resurgence of that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Because the way that they feel life is supposed to go, that's what they finna try their best to go back to. And then like you got people like Stephen Miller that, like I said, dorks that everybody laugh at and tease and push around. You gonna get these are the dudes that he giving cabinet point positions to. So they own one right now. They don't really feel like they can be touched. You know what I'm saying? Because usually that's how people who don't get power, who don't have power, when they get power, act. They go straight to abusing the shit or trying to abuse the shit. You know what I'm saying? So give them a chance, right? Give Tom Homan a chance. Give Stephen Miller a chance. Give Vivek Ramaswamy. Give Elon Musty. I'll give them all a chance. They won't take long to disappoint you. They won't take long to disappoint a lot of people. Okay, just give them a chance. They gonna do it, man. Trust me. They can't fail. If I had money to bet the house on it, I'd bet the house on it. I'd probably walk away rich. I give them 2 years. 2 years is being generous because if you just really just think about what's being said and all the stuff that they real ambitious, but a lot of it's coming from the wrong place. You know what I'm saying? It's not coming from a place where they want to improve things. It's coming from a place where they want to they just kind of want to cram their belief systems on people and they want a little bit of revenge. That's all to it. Uh, you know how people do when they too focus on being mad. That's when you mess up. So we'll see though. Then again, they might come in and create utopia. We don't know. We don't know. But I be me. If I had to bet on it, they gonna come in and they gonna come in like a bull in the china shop because they trying to, like as usual. There's just this small sliver of people that really align with how they think, and they're gonna go to trying to please this small sliver of people because for some reason that's what we do. We take the smallest voice, and that's what we go and focus on, and that's who we go and amplify. And a lot of times, the smallest voice is the one that's probably small for a reason. So not every time. Sometimes voices are small and need to be heard, but a lot of times voices are small for a fucking reason. Let's be real about that. Because they're small because a lot of people don't want to hear it and a lot of people don't agree with what's being said. But let's see. Let's try to get into this. Okay, here we go. Here, all right. So, so y'all know that these lawyers, you know, they've been defiant or saying they're going to be defiant. This Holman character, funny dude, man. I guess he been threatening to arrest him. He said he gonna put you in jail. Play with it. Play with it. I got the fire, buddy. You want to get them fingers burnt? Go ahead and put your fingers in there. Like them old people down south say, you don't think shit stink, huh? All right, so let's see here. We're gonna listen to the video first. How long is this video? This is a 7-minute video. So if you want to sit and suffer through 7 minutes of this stuff with me, we're gonna do it, and we're gonna see what's said because I think this is the one I watched earlier. But it does says Tom Homan responds to Denver mayor. He's willing to go to jail. I'm willing to put him in jail. They said the read is 2 minutes, so we'll get into the read after this. But let's get into this video right here. Hold on, let me see. Let's move me down here out of the way. All right.
In bringing attention to this, that President Trump appointed to fix the border, Tom Homan, along with someone who, frankly, has played a very big role in bringing attention to this security disaster, Texas Governor Greg Abbott, and they're going to be together all day tomorrow. Tom, you heard this mayor out there in Colorado. I want to get your reaction to it. And I want you to be clear about who has jurisdiction, the federal government or state and local governments. And if you're a sanctuary state or city, are you breaking the law?
You're absolutely breaking the law. All you have to do is look at Arizona versus U.S. You'll see he's breaking the law. But look, me and the Denver mayor, we agree on one thing. He's willing to go to jail. I'm willing to put him in jail. Because there's a...
Oh, my God, what happened? Oh, man, I'm knocking stuff over. What the hell, man?
This country, we got to save American lives.
My bad, y'all.
And I find it shocking that any mayor of a city would say,
knocking stuff over.
Clear. We want to concentrate on public safety threats and national security threats. I find it hard to believe that any mayor or governor would say they don't want public safety threats removed from their neighborhoods. I mean, I don't know what the hell is going on in Denver, but we're going to go and we're going to fix it. If you don't want to fix it, if you don't want to protect his communities, President Trump and ICE will.
So you will be going into...
Okay, so let's catch up, man, because I done knocked over my damn setup over here because I'm dropping stuff. Don't get arthritis. Make your hands bad. But he said, if my man want to go to jail, I will take you to jail. And this is the other thing that I find crazy as hell, right? Why are you all willing to put your life on the line for these people, but when it comes to your homeless And those people that you always call downtrodden, you know, the ones that you use in order to get your little shit going and get your money and all that, why are you not fighting for them? Y'all don't fight that hard for them. Y'all don't fight that hard to get the 500,000 plus people that don't have nowhere to stay at night or sleeping in their car, got to go to work from their car, got to take a bath at the shower at the gym or whatever, or they don't even have a car to be in. Y'all don't have any kind of fight for those people. You know, we got kids who might not eat for a couple of days. You don't have a fight for those people. Matter of fact, you had a program that you made for them that you only let go on for a year before you snatched it back. You did it long enough to brag and say, hey, man, we got y'all out of poverty. Come vote for us. When they voted for you, you got your vote. You went and snatched it back. Okay, but you want to say to someone who wants to get people who aren't supposed to be here, who haven't put anything in, who if you ask them, they don't give a damn about whether you got something or not. You won't get on TV and fight about that fight for those people. Okay. We got it. That's why I want to see him get on his head.
Colorado, Illinois, New York, California, and you are going to uphold the law of the land. That's your commitment. It doesn't matter what these elected politicians threaten or say that they're going to do.
We're going to enforce the law, period. And they're not going to stop us.
You know, Governor Abbott, I watched you with great frustration do everything imaginable in your power, come up with idea after idea after idea, because you were bearing the brunt of this from the very beginning. And you tried to put up barriers in the beginning, and then you tried to work the courts in the beginning. Then you started flying people out of your state to the sanctuary cities and states, and then all of a sudden, people like Mayor Eric Adams, to his credit, he finally got there, realized maybe this is not such a good idea, wide open.
Hey, yo, look at Abbott's face, man. He got that I told you so, man. Look, I told y'all. Everything you saying to me, this is his face. Everything you saying to me, I already know. I told y'all this was coming. That's why I sent him to y'all, because I didn't want that here. I already knew what it was. And see, this is what that partisan shit. It don't get anything done. It just kind of gets shit passed on to the next person, always. So it gets passed on. What they call it, kicking the can. That's what that partisan shit get you. That partisan shit is not gonna get anything solved ever. Like Bill Burr said, they be playing like people look at this like it's a sports, like a sports analogy. Like we on two teams. Like it's really not supposed to be that. We are supposed to have the country's advancement in mind, even though we might have some things that we want for ourselves. But at the end of the day, when you come to, it's supposed to be about everybody supposed to be on the same team and want to see the country move forward and stay on top. But that's not how this thing is approached. It's approached like it's us against them on both sides.
Borders, because we can't control what's going on here. How frustrating has that been for you?
Well, listen, it's very frustrating when we have a country and a president and an administration that are fighting back against the law, inviting all this illegal immigration into our country, bringing those people in who are committing those rapes, those murders, and crushing families across the entire country. So I'm thankful that we finally have a president, President Trump, who's going to enforce the laws of the United States of America. I'm thankful that we have Tom Homan as the incoming border czar, who's going to help execute those laws and enforce those laws and make sure that we get back to restoring order. But also, I'm thankful, especially this time of the year, what Tom's going to help me out with tomorrow. I'm thankful for the National Guard troops who've been serving on our border for the past 4 years under the Biden administration, erecting the barriers, repelling and denying entry to people trying to enter the country illegally. Those are men and women who deserve the respect of the entire United States of America. And we're going to go feed them Thanksgiving dinner, Thanksgiving lunch, and show them the gratitude that they deserve.
Yeah. Let me ask you, I had Senator Rand Paul, Tom, on my radio.
See, that see, this is how they gonna get people on their side for this stuff, because you know they hitting all the soft spots. They hitting all the soft spots. The troops, the National Guard. They trying to keep people safe and all that. They gonna go feed them and all this stuff, man. Um, the Democrats, man, be missing so many opportunities at this type of messages. This they be asked. They wanted to say that they needed their own Joe Rogan. No, it's just the fact that y'all miss doing this kind of stuff. People, this is the stuff people want. You know, this is the stuff that people want. This kind of simple shit. Instead of you telling somebody that they not smart because they not doing what you want them to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man.
Radio program today, and he thinks it's a matter of police and ICE resources, not the military, that can be used in this effort. What is your answer to that? Constitutionally, he says there's a problem.
We need DOD's assistance. Look, we got millions of people we need to find. And we got a lot of criminal aliens. We got a lot of national security threats. We need to find these people. It is, I think, DOD, this is a national security vulnerability. I think it's the biggest national security vulnerability we've seen since 9/11 because of the over 2 million gotaways. We already arrested a record number of people off the terrorist watch list.
2 million gotaways.
2.2 million people paid more to get away. They didn't want to be vetted. They didn't want to be fingerprinted. That scared the hell out of everybody. So DOD's helped on the border on numerous administrations. We need their help on the Trump administration. They don't have to be out arresting people, but they can certainly help us with transportation. They can help us staff up groups. They can help us do some of the infrastructure building. They can help us some of the logistics. We need DOD's help, and President Trump's committed. DOD's helping us, and we're going to do that. So,
so they're talking about the Department of Defense, military, and all them. So they might be kind of serious about getting these people up out of here, man. And I haven't covered any other stories, but there are so many crazy stories. So many crazy stories. I got a video that I'm probably gonna play here in a minute too off of Twitter that I found that's kind of funny with another mayor going through it, Brandon Johnson. Yeah, I'm probably gonna do that, and I think I might talk a little bit about Miss Pelosi, and then I think we're gonna get out of here. Let's finish this right here.
Again, President Trump's a tough president, and DOD's assistance is going to help us be more successful in the country. And it's just sad that Rand Paul would say that. I think we all need to be on the same page. Again, we all should be on the same page. We're talking about the biggest national security vulnerability we've seen in this nation. We all should be on the same page. Republicans, Democrats, Independents, everybody.
Well, don't count on the Democrats, because all they're doing is preparing to be resisting every effort you make, and why they're putting the so-called rights, which illegal immigrants obviously don't have, over the safety and security of Americans, the drugs, the cartels, the gangs, the known terrorists in the country, is inexplicable to me. Governor, you have used the National Guard. You have used it successfully. Would every state be able to start with that and add personnel as well?
So it's a great strategy. Remember this.
We're going to end it right there. I'm going to get ready to get into this other video so I can start getting into some other things. Oh, my God, that I have to get done for the day, like finish getting these damn releases done. But, yeah, man, my man ain't playing. He said if he want to go to jail, I'll take him. He said if you want to go to jail, I will take you. So if ain't nobody else in the next admin that's probably close to being able to do what they say they're gonna do, it would be him. Despite the Democrats making people believe that a lot of people have an issue with this type of thing, a lot of people are saying that even some other immigrants are like, yeah, we really need to do something about this because they're becoming a problem. If you look at New York and all of the stuff that went on in New York with these people, with these migrants and stuff, man, come on, man. So you got to want to do something, and they should know, and I don't think everybody should go through it. Couldn't hear in my ear. I don't think everybody should go through it. You know, everybody not bad, but if somebody's committing crimes they hear illegally and you know, then take care of that, man, because we don't want more crime, man. We want crime to go down, you know. So, um, of course, if you have a group of people bringing crime with them, you want to check that at the door. Where are we at right now? Where are we at right now? Let's see here. Uh, all right, here. Okay, so here, let's see here. On my bookmarks. No, I'm looking for that. Yeah, this right here. Pause that. Hit that to a full screen. Okay. So I have been seeing this make the rounds too. I was really supposed to be on air last night doing this, but um, like I said, man, I be having so much stuff going on uh, that it turns into a priority thing for me, and this was kind of like not that. Not saying that it's not important, but the priority wasn't there. So um, I was watching. I'm glad I didn't last night because I ran across this while I was contemplating my life. Why I had skipped out, and I was like, you know how you say you're gonna do something, you don't. You kind of feel like a failure when you don't do it. Like I should have did it, but um, I did run across this video, so maybe it was meant for me to hold on because the video is hilarious. It is because this dude has to be like the unluckiest mayor in America. Because even Eric Adams, with all the stuff that's going on with him or has went on with Eric Adams, he hasn't faced what Brandon Johnson has faced from his constituents. These people show up to every single city hall meeting and they give this man the business. I mean, they dress this man down. I don't know how many videos I've seen of them dressing this man down. If he don't know that he is not going for a second term, he is very clueless. The other thing is these aldermen that's with him are going to drag themselves down right with him. But one of the things that makes me think about is when you see these type of situations, I have to ask the question there, is somebody getting paid? And how much are they getting paid? Like, what exactly are you gaining by ruining your reputation the way that you're ruining your reputation? I asked that question about Vice President Harris. Like, what is she getting paid in order for her to be ruining her reputation in the manner that she's ruining her reputation? The payday has to be wonderful. It has to be, and it has to be ongoing. But this is what you see in Chicago is it's a perfect example of Democrats and how they've been governing over the last 10 years. They care very little about what the people want, and they are very self-serving. And somebody else that they serve, who knows? They got all kind of people that got their ear. So let's okay. This is probably gonna be one of the last videos that I share. Let's see here. Gonna get that up there behind there. Let's go back to this camera. All right. Let's get here. And let's get this off of here. All right. I don't know. See, because this is the thing, too. When you watch these guys, man, they're so disrespectful. They stand up there and be smug and smile and act like they don't care. And they get up and stand up and talk to each other while these people are expressing themselves. It is because it's almost like they know nobody can do anything about nothing. You know what I'm saying? They're like, you can't do anything about anything. And that's what I take away from watching a lot of these guys. I don't know. Let's get into this video though.
Ma'am, I would ask that you keep your. Hold on a second. Stop her time. Stop her time. Just a second. Just a second. Stop her time. Ma'am, I would ask that you keep your. Hold on a second. Stop her time. Stop her time. Just a second. Just a second.
Some of y'all say y'all willing to go to jail for it. Trump, Tom Homan, make an example out this Negro right here. Come here first. Because you know what? We gonna help you. We want to for real.
Ma'am,
Hey, she said, come get him first. She said, come get him first. She said, go get him first.
I would ask that you
keep your.
Hold on a second. Stop her time.
He said, hold on. Don't be sacrificing me.
Stop her time. Ma'am, I would ask that you, if you want to continue speaking, you have to make sure that your language
Look at him.
is appropriate.
Look at him walking up like he tough. He ain't going somewhere.
Okay, you can begin her time again.
Let me get mad because she cooking, my man. She cooking with grease.
Michael Rod Reed, you said to take Trump to court.
She cooking with grease.
These illegals. You said you're going to spend our tax dollars to take Trump to court to protect these illegals if they try to come in your here in your district. And then you said they
Talking about flaming my guy right up.
with each other to do it. Okay, so now we about to make y'all famous. We're gonna let all y'all constituents know who y'all ratting for. That y'all wouldn't spend.
He said that's the one we was talking about.
To protect illegals and.
Hey, he stood up. He was like, "Hey, that's the one we was talking about. That's the one that we was talking about." Because this lady already got a video out where she calling all of them out that went viral, so they know who she is. He said, "Yo, that's the one we was talking about. Y'all better protect that lady, man. Lady, you better be careful, man. They up there whispering about you now."
To get them legal services. So that's what we doing. That's cool because we about to make all of y'all aldermen famous. Y'all think this house gonna rat? I think not. Flip Chicago red. We not playing.
Ma'am, I would ask that you.
She said, "We not playing." Brandon Johnson, man. Yeah, but y'all see how it works, right? They use, you see how they use their security to try to be intimidating because he don't like what's being said to him. Now you done got up here and you done betrayed these people. You done laughed in these people's face. You done lied to these people about your promises. They mad, they expressing themselves. And you want to use your security to try to intimidate the young lady. I don't think it worked. But you know, he got his time is he know his time. He know his days are measured and numbered. He'll be out of there just as fast as Lightfoot was out of there. And see, the thing is too, is we always got we always get these very bad black politicians, man. And I was talking to somebody the other day, and I said, I think what's happening is, what we're seeing is them showing us that maybe we shouldn't let some of these people be in charge. You know, this is like I said, this fall back to this DEI stuff. You know, because that's why you see a lot of them get called DEI hires when they on their way out the door. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't stand for anything. You know what I'm saying? They're not strong in any area as far as speaking up for people, or they don't create an aura about themselves that even if you tried to stick a label on them, it would never stick. These people do a lot of selling out. Okay, so, and they do a lot of damage. They do a lot of dirty stuff. Look at Tiffany Henyard. You know, we get these type of people in office, and then they do all this crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? So you already get looked at in certain lights, okay? So for you to even be going down the path that you going, that walks right underneath that light that they shining like a stupid, you know what I'm saying? So it makes it easier for them to go through this type of shit. You know, they ain't doing nothing anyway. Or they stealing. or they letting a bunch of people in the country that's not really supposed to be here, and then taking money out of other people's pockets to cover their expenses. Because you have to understand, a lot of these controversial mayors, they're black. Look at the dude out in Baltimore. Look what he got going on. And then they get in there and they got to run these weak agendas. Sometimes you got to wonder if this is even their agendas, because a lot of them spoke on different things when they got in office. But see, that goes back to them not being stand up. See, because but then again, if you so stand up that you going to be able to buck what they say, you're not going to be there in the first place. So these people who are groomed to be there, if you go start tracing back and go and look at back, they've always been in some kind of party, something over here, and this kind of program over there. So they be getting, they could be getting groomed and getting readied up for these programs, for these positions, excuse me, because there's agendas at work. Everybody hate that word, but every time you turn around, what do you see? Some kind of agenda at work. Somebody thinking of somebody on some other shit. So, but yeah, I wanted to end the show on that, man. I see I had a couple people come and drop in and show some love. Still trying to figure out this whole comment section thing on here. I think for this next month, I'm going to go ahead and try this other program. I kind of want to try it in a free mode, but I see they like to put a big watermark on the side of your show, which I don't really want that. So, if you see this video, like and subscribe. I am trying to figure out what I need to do in order to chop these videos up into segments like I see done. So you might start seeing some of that. I am also thinking of moving this podcast to its own channel because I'm kind of sharing this with my music because that was my intent in the first place, was to have a podcast and a music channel in one space. So I'm gonna experiment with it just a little more, where I start downloading these podcasts and perhaps running them through my DistroKid as well. I'm gonna be back on tomorrow. I'm trying to do a early morning and an evening show, but I haven't been able to do nothing but one show at a time. If you've been here for the last 4 or 5 episodes, you can see that there's a steady progression in the quality of the show because I'm slowly figuring things out about this janky program I'm using. So, we just gonna keep on getting better. You know what I'm saying? We doing fly stuff on the camera and stuff now. We weren't even on the camera first. But, yeah, but in closing, man, I didn't even get into the Tom Homan and the mayor of Boston story where she talked a lot of shit to him and then she backed down. It was kind of a long read, and I'm not in the mood to read that. So that might be one of the first things that I touch on the next show. But then again, my next show might not even be political, man. I think I'm just gonna go find some crazy stuff to talk about, man. I might even talk about some celebrity stuff, because your boy Drake out here tripping. It's some stuff going on out here outside of the news. So we'll probably have a little fun. I'm still developing the show a bit to see about how we're gonna do that. So shout out to y'all. And like I said, if you made it this far, I appreciate you sitting here with me. I am over here on, if you looking at this on Facebook and you want to get on my YouTube and you want to follow me on YouTube, I am, the name of this page is Poor Man's Republic. Just like and subscribe, man. Thanks to everybody for coming out. We will see y'all tomorrow. I got homework to do, and I sure hate it.